What's going on, guys? Seancutshair back with another video. In this video, we're gonna be cutting my new barber Derek's hair. You guys have seen him in the mullet video. If you haven't checked that out, click the card up above. But in this video, guys, it was time to get rid of the mullet. We're gonna get right into this cut. We're gonna use our comb to create some nice vertical lines that will give us a clean section. Then we can come in and start our block graduation. Now we're gonna pull the hair out with a decent amount of tension. You guys want your middle finger against the head, right at the top of the parietal ridge. This is gonna create our perimeter, so we're gonna drop it a little bit in the back as you guys can see. We'll work our way halfway around the back and then continue this on the other side until we meet at the back where we just finished. Now to tackle the top, I am going to cut this disconnected. He's going to wear it more up and messy, so I'm just going to take it straight up. We're going to cut it square across, and we're doing a very deep point cut, as you guys can see. If you do this right, you'll actually create two guides. You'll have your high point and your low point, and if you have your shears at a 45-degree angle, you'll actually take off length at the same time while creating texture. So you guys can see that in action here. I'm going to work my way all the way from the front to the back. Then we'll turn and do vertical sections and connect all that and just make sure that nothing's out of place. Obviously, guys, we're cutting this uneven, but you guys will tell if something's much longer than everything else. So just work your way through a couple times and cross check and make sure that everything's pretty consistent. Now we'll come in and get this hair dry. I am gonna start off by just blow drying it in different directions to start to get the hair dry, and then we'll start to work it up and give it some lift and some volume. I wanna get it dry because taking my clippers on the side and blending into the top is gonna be much easier than if the hair is wet. We'll do the finished style once we get to the end, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it somewhat established, make sure that it's dry on the sides, and then when I come in this next step, we'll be able to just feed our clipper right into what we created and move on to the fade. Now, like normal, I'll start off with a foreguard all the way closed. These are on my Babyliss Custom FX. We're just gonna feed right into the hair on top so you guys can see that blended right in. Just slow down and let the clipper feed, and you guys can connect right into the top, and that will give us a nice base for our side to start our fade. We're gonna come in with our slimlines and start our ball guide line, and guys, I'm gonna follow the exact shape of the perimeter that we created at the beginning. So I'm doing this pretty low. I'm gonna technically call this a mid fade. We're just gonna go right up over the ear, but really what makes this a mid fade over a low fade is I am gonna stretch it out. I'm not gonna do this really low. So go ahead and blend the beard, guys, real easy. Open one, closed one, open clipper, closed clipper. Then we'll come in with the slim line at the top of that. Then we can come in with our shaver and start our bald process. Now this is something I haven't done a lot lately, but guys, I started doing this again. I'm balding out after the slim line with a sharper trimmer. Not only is that gonna make it easier for me to use my shaver, but it's also gonna connect the shaver to the slim line easier. So I have 3 steps within my bald. Then we'll come in with the shaver and get everything all the way down to skin underneath all of that. Our first step is going to be done with the clipper with the lever all the way open. We're going to follow the same exact shape as we've created already and go about 3/4 of an inch starting that section, and then we can start to work that line out from the bottom. And kind of a funny thing here, guys, he actually didn't know he had that mole on the side of his head. He has not had clippers touch the side of his head besides the taper that I gave him in 7 years. Now because we punched the bald line in with the slim line, we'll go ahead and scoop that out for our first step. You can see right above the ear, there's a little bit of a line that I created with my sharper trimmer when I came in. So you can see I go after it right there, but it's still there. So I will come back with my sharper trimmer and work that line out. Next up is to come in with the clipper all the way closed, and we're going to bump that line up just a little bit more. After that, we use the lever halfway open and work our way up a little bit more, and that section will technically be done. We'll do some lever play after that and get any dark spots that are left, but this section will be done after that. If you guys notice, I did go back to my custom FX. For some reason, the alphas, the power has just gone down on them. They don't feel great when I'm using them. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see what's going on. I did love those clippers, and I will tell you guys I have another clipper coming on the way soon. I'm gonna give you guys a hint. It's from the UK, so it may be 3 or 4 weeks, but as soon as I can get it, I will do an unboxing for you guys. So you can see now we're just going after some spots, so I'll just adjust my lever, hit the spot. If it doesn't get it, I'll close it up a little bit more, and now we can move on. So now we're in with the one guard all the way open, another section just the same size as before, following the same guideline. Once that's established, we can start to work the line out from the bottom. Now with the one guard all the way closed, we'll work our way 2/3 up into that section, and we're flicking out because we do have kind of a gap between the open one and the closed one, so we want to make sure we don't leave a hard line. That will leave one line in between the 2 sections that we've done so far, as you can see, and the half guard will take that last line out. Now, if you guys don't watch my channel and this is your first time, I like to look at the half guard and the 1.5 guard. I call it the magic eraser. So those are not to be used as a whole step. Those are just gonna be the perfect length to come in between these 2 sections and take this line out, as you guys can see. So I'll start with it halfway open. I think when it's open, it just kind of slides around. So I always start halfway open, and if I need to close it up, I can close it. But you can see it's taking that last line out between those 2 sections. Next up, we're going to come in with our 2 guard all the way closed and flick up into the 4 that we started with. I actually was asked earlier, do I always stack guards from 4 to 3 to 2? And sometimes in this case, I'm able to flick right out with the 2, right into the 4, and move on to that last line that's left. And like I just said, the 1.5 as well is the magic eraser. It's going to erase this line between the 2 and the 1, and that's all it's used for. Once we have our steps completed, as you guys can see, there is still a little bit of light and dark here and there, so we will work our way back down. We'll go from the 1.5 back to the 1, back to the half guard, and back to an open clipper if we need to. We're just polishing out any spots that we see before we move on to the other side. Now we'll come in and edge up the C-cup. We're gonna do a nice sharp C-cup, and I wanna tell you guys, if you're not aware, I just got a new blade for these trimmers. This is a custom FX, but it had the Graphite 2.0 blade on it. And if you guys weren't aware, the 2.0 blade is a deep tooth blade. It does work okay, but it's not my favorite. The gold blade is really the blade that I prefer to use. So this is actually a fine tooth graphite blade. It is the FX707B. And the deep tooth is the B2. So if you guys are looking for that, it is the FX707B. That's the graphite fine tooth. We're gonna move on to the back, guys. We're gonna do the same steps. I want you to just follow along, and we'll catch up after this. Real quick, I do want to tell you guys, I appreciate all of you that watch my videos. I've had some consistent views and likes and all that stuff on these videos. The numbers are doing great, the channel's doing great, and I appreciate all of you that watch all of my content. I do want to try something, and I promise you guys it's not going to be every video that I'm going to be saying this stuff. But I want you guys to understand that the likes and the comments and all that, that's what tells YouTube that it's a good video, and then YouTube will share that with more people. So you hear people ask for likes, or we remind you constantly in the videos. And guys, honestly, if I'm watching YouTube and I don't hear somebody say, hey, go give me a thumbs up, then normally I just forget to do it, and that's not helping their channel. So I want to challenge you guys. I know I always say it, but this time I want to just see what happens. I want to challenge you guys, please stop real quick, go hit that thumbs up button. I want to try to get 500 likes on this video and just see what that does for the video itself. And like I said, I'm not going to do this every video, but I just want you guys to understand that's why we always remind you to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed, because a lot of people just don't do those type of things, and honestly that just doesn't help the channel at all. I still appreciate you watching it. The views do help, but I want to test that out. So if you guys haven't hit that like button, please go hit it for me. Do me a favor and let's see what that can do. Now I don't know if you guys can tell, but he does have some bed head right there. I couldn't tell when the hair was messy, so I'm wanting to try to get that to lay down. It's giving me some trouble. So what I did was just wet the hair, really rub that in, and now I'm coming in and blow drying that hair down. And you guys will see that will improve it. And then I was able to go in and kind of fine tune that last little spot. I'm gonna go in and add some color enhancement, guys. This is the Tomb 45 No Drip Black Brown with my enhancement card and the Beam Team XL compressor. We're gonna enhance the vertical bar where he's not very full, and then give it a nice sharp C cup. We'll go in and add some styling products to the top, and you guys can check out the end result. All right guys, so this is a matte paste that I'm trying out. It is actually from Level 3, which is used to be Elegance, but they switched brands. They sent us some samples, so I am testing it out. It is a matte paste, and then we're gonna come in and use Victory Crown texture spray. I'm gonna spray that in. That's just kind of it's almost like a texture powder. It's gonna kind of dry the oil out of the hair and the wetness out of the hair, and just give you a little bit more hold. So you guys can see I'm gonna spray that in here, and then we will give it its finished style. Alright guys, so there's the before. He definitely needed one, and obviously we got rid of the mullet. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you prefer the mullet look or the new look. Obviously I was ready to get rid of it, but there you go guys, super fresh cut. I definitely dig it on him. Like I said, he hasn't had a fade like this in 7 years. If you guys like this cut, hit that thumbs up. Like I said, let's hit 500. Make sure you guys subscribe for more content coming soon, and I'll catch you guys next time.